Hi, I'm Anne-Marie with Speak Confident English, and welcome to your Confident English Wednesday lesson. This week we are focused on to me and for me, those really tricky prepositions. If you've ever been confused or even frustrated about which preposition to use, what do they mean, which one is correct, then today's lesson is for you. After watching this video, you will know 3 situations in English when you can actually use to or for in the sentence. Both can be correct, but it might require a small change in the grammatical structure. You might need to be careful about which verb you choose, or there could be a small change in the meaning. Now, before we get started, I did say that we're focused on 3 situations when both can be used correctly. So you might be wondering, are there situations when you can only use to, or you can only use for in English? And yes, there are, but my goal is to make this topic as simple, easy, and clear as possible so that you can use these correctly when you communicate in English. So today's lesson is actually a 2-part lesson, and in a few weeks I will have part 2 where we will talk about when we only use to and when we only use for. But today we're going to look at when both are possible. Situation number 1, when these prepositions are used to express a reason or the intention of something. What I mean is sometimes these prepositions to and for tell us why. For example, last year I went to Spain. Why? To visit my friend. For a wedding. When we use those prepositions, it's telling us why, the reason or the intention. But there is a difference in how we use these in a sentence, so I want to help you understand that difference. Let's look at these 2 sentences. Last year I went to Spain for my friend's wedding. Last year I went to Spain to attend my friend's wedding. These are very similar sentences, but there is a little difference. Can you identify what that difference is? If you can't, don't worry. Let's look at 2 more examples to help you do that. After work today, I stopped by the grocery store for some coffee. After work today, I stopped by the grocery store to buy some coffee. Once again, these are very similar. Can you notice a difference? If we look at all 4 of these sentences, I have for my friend's wedding and for coffee, or to attend my friend's wedding, or to buy coffee. Hopefully you're starting to notice that immediately after the word to, we need a verb. For example, last year I went to Spain to visit my friend, to attend a wedding. I went to the grocery store to buy coffee. Now, before we move on to situation number 2, let's look at one more example, and this time I want you to decide which preposition is correct. In a few months, I'm going to California, a work conference. In a few months, I'm going to California, a work conference. Should I use to or for? Hopefully you chose for because the last words are a work conference. We don't have a verb there, so we're going to use for. In a few months, I'm going to California for a work conference. Now, situation number 2. These prepositions, to and for, can also be used in a sentence to indicate a recipient. That might be a new word, a recipient. A recipient is someone who receives something. They are a receiver. For example, my sister sent a birthday card to me. To me. I am the receiver or the recipient. And to is helping us understand that. It's indicating who is receiving something. So let's look at two example sentences, again, that are very similar, but let's see if you can identify the difference. I made a gift for my friend. I gave a gift to my friend. What do you think about those two sentences? Both to and for are indicating the receiver, but here the focus is really on the verb that is used. In the second sentence, I used the word gave or to give. When I use that verb, it indicates movement or transfer. Something is exchanged or it goes from point A to point B. When we use verbs that indicate a movement, exchange, or transfer, such as to give, to take, to mail, to sell, to send, we follow that verb with the preposition to. I'll give you another example. Imagine that you have a really important event coming up soon. Maybe you're shopping for a new dress and you find the perfect dress. You're so excited, but they don't have the right size. So the store says they will order it for you, and after the dress arrives, they will send it to you. Send is one of those verbs that indicates movement, exchange, transfer. It's going from A to B. So we use to you. They will send it to you. And finally, it is important to me or it is important for me. What is the difference between these expressions? In the sentence, my job interview tomorrow is really important for me. Could I also use it is important to me? What do you think? Both are correct. Both can be used, but there is just a small difference in the meaning. When I say that something is important to me or it's important to my friend, to my sister, it focuses on the personal feeling or value that something has. For example, I can say, this book is really important to me because my grandmother gave it to me as a gift. This book is really important to me because my grandmother gave it to me as a gift. With that expression, I'm saying that this gift has value to me. Maybe it's emotional value, sentimental value, but it's special to me. And if you were listening, if you paid attention, I also said, my grandmother gave it to me. We're talking about a verb with transfer or movement. Now let's go back to that first sentence about the job interview. If I say, my job interview tomorrow is very important for me, the focus is on the benefit. We show that there's a benefit to this thing or person. For example, if you have this job interview and it's important for you, it could be important for your career, an opportunity for growth. It could be important for you because it means a better salary or a job that you really, really want. We're focused on the benefits. Another example could be exercise is very important for your health. There are benefits for your health. And with that, you have 3 situations where you can use to or for in English, and you know how to do it correctly. As always, I do love hearing from you. So if you've learned something new, if you enjoyed this video lesson, tell me about it. The best place to do that is in the comment section just below this video. And don't forget, In a couple of weeks, I'll have part 2 of this lesson available for you, where we will focus on situations where only 2 or only 4 is possible, but not both. Thank you so much for joining me. I love having you here every Wednesday, and I'll see you next week for your Confident English Wednesday lesson.